to sit on chairs, or
This is fine.
Okay. Indian style. How large is the newspaper? The circulation?
450,000.
500,000.
Swami, what is your purpose here with your with the faith in seeking the growth and so on?
What is the purpose? You can explain.
The purpose of our seeking the growth is so that people all over the world can become happy again. People who are suffering due to lack of knowledge about who they are and what their relationship is with God. And as a result of that ignorance, they're performing so many activities which cause them pain and misery, so that they can become happy again.
How will this be achieved?
Misery is caused due to ignorance. Do you admit or not? The more we are kept in darkness of knowledge, we suffer. What is the difference between what is called developed nations and not developed nations? This America belongs to the Red Indians, and because they are not developed, their condition was different from the present America. They could not construct such big house and big roads and that, because they are in ignorance. That is the difference. Prosperity, no prosperity, happiness, not happiness. Ignorance and knowledge.
Is it that they have confused materialism with happiness?
Not material. I want to say, happiness is knowledge. Happiness is knowledge. Man who is in ignorance, he is suffering. Either you say material or spiritually. A person who is not in developed consciousness is suffering. And they commit sinful acts also.
I beg your pardon?
They commit sinful acts also in ignorance. So that is the difference between man and animal. Animal means not developed consciousness. Some of them they say the animal has no soul. That is foolishness. Animal has soul, but the consciousness is not developed, just like a child. The father's consciousness and the child's consciousness different. Why it is different? The child's consciousness is not developed. Father's consciousness is developed. Because the child is talking some nonsense, you cannot say there is no soul. There is soul. But the consciousness is not developed.
Do you see hope for mankind in the future?
Yes. Man can be happy immediately, provided the consciousness is developed.
Do you think that this will ever be achieved?
Yes, it can be achieved. That's like I have sent a letter to your government. asking them question that you write on the bills, in God we trust. So whether you trust in God blindly or knowingly, that was my question. Suppose I trust you, so you must be trustworthy. Otherwise, why shall I trust you? But this question I asked your God, when you write the bills, in God we trust. So what kind of trust it is? If you actually trust, then you must know that God is trustworthy. Or you blindly trust as a slogan, but that letter is not his reply. So, what is your opinion? In God we trust. So how do you trust? Why you trust? This is my question.
It would be a matter of faith, I suppose. It would be a matter of faith, I suppose.
Faith may be different. You may have faith, I may not have faith. That is not the question. Just like in the bank, you deposit some money. Some may have faith or no faith, but that bank is trustworthy. You know that your money deposited in the bank will not be cheated. Similarly, if you trust in God, then you must know whether God is trustworthy, what you mean by God. It is not the question of faith. Faith is blind. It is the question of understanding. So, that we want, that America especially, you are favored amongst all other nations. You are well-to-do, richer than other nations. So why don't you take God seriously? Why should you trust in God as faith? No. You understand what is God. And have your faith full that God is, yes, trustworthy, so that others may also know that God is trustworthy. That is our mission, that why God and trust, we trust in God should be a slogan. Let it be a fact by scientific study, by scientific understanding. There is way to understand why God is trustworthy. It is not a question of faith, it is a fact. Just like a child has faith in his parents, so that is not an artificial thing, that is fact. And the parents are trustworthy to the child, there is no doubt about it, by nature. So similarly, why we should be in trust in God? Why blindly? Why not trust with knowledge? And that is our movement. And every civilized person has got some faith in God. But now they are advanced. They should understand what is God, why we must have faith in Him. That is Krishna consciousness.
It's a matter of educating.
Simply faith, blind faith will not endure. And therefore they are becoming godless. And gradually, if we do not understand factually what is God, then the whole human civilization will be godless. To become godless means again animal. That is the difference between animal and man. In the animal society, there is no question of religion, faith, God. These things are not there. The human civilization, if it becomes like that, without any faith in God, without any understanding of God, then what is the difference between cats and dogs and human beings? We must know God scientifically. That is the actual aim of human life. Suppose the dog is sleeping on the street without any care whether a car is coming and smash it. He is also sleeping, sound sleeping. And we are sleeping in a very nice apartment. So after all sleeping. And he is also enjoying sleeping. I am also enjoying sleeping. So do you think to change the circumstances of the sleeping? I am sleeping in a very nice apartment, he is sleeping on the floor. Does it mean this is advancement of civilization? Sleeping is sleeping. Eating is eating. Sex life, the male dog enjoying with female dog, the sex pleasure is to him. And we are enjoying with a beautiful woman. The sex pleasure is the same. Therefore, you take some eatable, either in gold pot or an iron pot. The taste is the same. Simply by putting the food stuff in the golden pot, does it mean the taste has changed? So the taste of eating, sleeping, mating and defending is the same for the human being as well as the animal. But difference, what is the difference between the animal and human? The animal cannot know God. That is not possible. The human being can know. That is the opportunity of this human life. If we are missing that opportunity, then we are leading an animal civilization. This is not civilization. Animal life is not civilization. Civilized means not animal life. Something more than that. That is God consciousness.
Do you have programs developed to educate mankind towards this God consciousness?
Yes. Concrete education, not fictitious. Concrete.
How will you get man to become aware of the situation so he could desire
Yes,
a
very
consciousness?
simple fact. If you simply understand that one verse in the Bhagavad Gita, there it is stated that Sarvajonishu kaunteya sambhavanti murtayaja tasang mahajjani brahma aham bija pradopita. Very simple thing. It's like the earth or the material nature. Everything is coming out of the material nature, beginning from the grass to the highest intellectual human being, or more than that. Where from they are coming? From this material nature, either earth, water, fire. The these elements of material nature. Let us see from the ground, the grass is coming, the vegetable is coming, from the water the fishes are coming, the ants are coming, the germs are coming, then after eating that vegetable, the animals are coming. And this way everything is coming, generated from the earth, from material nature. This is not a fact.
Mm-hmm.
So, we are coming from material nature, that means material nature is our mother. From the womb of mother, the child comes. But from the material nature, everything is coming. Therefore, according to Vedic knowledge, this earth is also mother. They have got 7 mothers, according to Vedic civilization. Ado Mata, Guru Patni, Brahmani, Rajapatnika, Dhenu Dhatri, Tatha Prithi, Sapta Ete Matarismita. Ado Mata means original mother, real mother. And Guru Patni, the wife of teacher, the wife of a Brahmana. Brahmana means the most intellectual class of men in the human society. Brahmana. It is not a caste, it's a section. In every human society, always there is a class of men very intelligent. They are called Brahmana. So, Ado Mata Guru Patni, Brahmani, Rajapatnika, and the queen. Formerly there were kings. She is also considered as mother. And Dhenu means cow, is mother, because we drink and milk. She supplies milk, that's mother. And Prithvi in the earth, they are coming out. The earth is mother. Really we see coming. And there may be different varieties of sons, that doesn't matter. But anything coming out of the earth is mother. And that is coming out, that is son. Then where is the father? There must be father. Is it possible mother can give birth to a child without father? Is it possible?
I wouldn't think so.
Huh?
I wouldn't think so, no.
So there must be father. This is conclusion. So who is searching about that father? The answer is in Bhagavad Gita. I have father. You cannot deny father. That's not possible. If there is mother, if there is child, there must be father. Mm-hmm. This is human sense. And animal sense is, I don't care for father. Maybe father, I don't care. That is animal sense. So do you want to keep the human society in such ignorance? That's like cats and dogs. The dogs do not care who is father. This movement wants to give education to the human society. Yes, there is father. And that is actual fact. Without father, how there is child? Is it possible? So at the present moment, the human society is child playing on the lap of mother, that's all, in big, big motor cars, that's all, without any knowledge of father. But with the human being, remain simply satisfied with toys on the lap of mother, or you try to understand with father. So we are satisfied with the toys and playing on the lap of the mother. The motor car is running very swiftly. Head brake or neck brake, speed. And they are thinking they are civilized. And wow. But who is your father? Don't know.
Then where do you live?
Huh?
Where does
He lives on the lap of mother, that's all. That is child. Child is satisfied on the lap of the mother, that's what I am saying. The child doesn't care to know the father. But that is father, that's a fact. That means the present civilization is childish civilization. Does not care to know the father. So whether the human civilization will remain children, they fight among themselves. Children, however you can make their mind of children, live peacefully. Though for the time being they may be. Again they will fight, they will cry. And that is going on. What the United Nations has done for the last 40 years. They're fighting like children or animals. So if you keep them as child or animal, do you think there will be peace? That is not possible. It is futile attempt. They're talking of big wars for peace. That is not possible. I think in Melbourne, in my press interview, I said, the United Nations is working.
I just came from Vancouver from the Habitat Conference. The UN is having a Habitat Conference in Vancouver. And believe me, it is not united. There are constant discussions, then arguments, sometimes there are walkouts, so many things, and they're not able to reach any conclusions. They can't agree with each other.
Something. You mean to say, with dogs simply barking, they come to a conclusion? That is not so. There is no aim. What is the actual aim of life? So this is a very important movement. At least the intelligent class of men, they must understand it thoroughly. It's like this body, there are different parts, different sections of the body, but the most important section is the brain. Similarly, the important section of society means one is fully in God consciousness. You can cut my hand, that's a limb. You can cut my leg, that's a limb. But you cut my hair, finished life. So at the present moment, there are big scientists, big technologies, that's all right. That is hands and legs. But there is no brain. Therefore, in one sense, you can take it as dead society. So in my opinion, I like your country, America. Sometimes I call it is my fatherland because these American boys, they are helping me, pushing on this movement. So I am very much obliged to these boys. Now let us take it a little more seriously, state-wise. And if America takes it seriously, other nations will follow. As there is the United Nations organization in America, make a nice organization to understand God, United Nations, God consciousness. People will benefit.
You see America getting more God conscious?
At least I see majority of my disciples are American. Why not expand it?
Prabhupada, before Richard asked me a question, what is the difference between our movement and, say, another religion, like the Sikhs or some other religion?
Don't misunderstand. It is religion means a kind of faith. Just like you are Christian, I am Hindu, so you have faith in Christianity, I have faith in Hindu. That is another thing. But this is, if we understand religion in a different way according to English dictionary. A real religion means the law given by God. This is the shortcut definition of religion. And if you do not know what is God, and if you do not know what is His law, then what is the meaning of religion? There is no meaning of religion. If blindly, if I have some faith in some dogmas and ritualistic ceremony, that is not religion. Religion means the science by which you can understand God and the law of God. That is religion. It's not a kind of faith. Just like state laws. You may have faith or no faith. The state law is law. You have to obey. Just like I have come in America, in our country, the street law is keep to the left. So I have come to America, you say keep to the right. If I say no, I have no faith in this, keep to the left. No, I must obey. That is law. Similarly, religion means you may have faith or no faith, but you must obey. It is a must. It is not optional. That is religion. That I explained many times, that religion is characteristic. It's like every one of us, we are servant. So, the living entity is servant. He may have faith or no faith. He must be a servant. So if you don't become servant of God, then you become servant of dog. That is your advancement of civilization. When there is no service for God, just like here we have got service for God, there is no question of serving dog. But when we forget service of God, then automatically we become a service of dog. But service, I am servant, that's the prayer. And voluntarily keep a dog and serve him. If I have no master, then I keep a master dog, cat, You call it by the name pet. What is pet? I give service, that's all. So this is our advancement. We have refused to serve God and we voluntarily accepted to serve dog. Now in India they are also learning. And formerly dog keeping, there were in the neighborhood, but they were not allowed to enter the room or house. Now they are keeping dogs just like the Western people. They are making dog show and so on.
Dog show.
They are learning how to serve dog, and they are giving up God.
Yeah, there are a lot of people here that worship their pets. Yes.
The Russians serve Lenin.
But they are imitating. The Western people are very expert in this subject matter. They are learning everything.
But we can't avoid serving.
No, that is not possible.
That's all there is in life.
Now we are sitting so many gentlemen. He is serving some paper, he is serving some paper, and you are serving God. The service is there. Nobody can say, no, I don't serve anyone. Is there any man? No. You must serve. Constitutionally you are meant for service. Either you are president of the state or anything. That is your position. That is the beginning of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy. Jiver Sarupāya Nitya Krishna Das. All living entities are eternal servants of God.
And all service is the same.
Huh?
All service is the same.
No. He says all service is the same.
How can it be? All service is the same. Do you think that the service
Everybody
is...
serves in their own way, but it's all...
That is, unless you come to the service of God, it is wrong.
I think he's asking, but if it is service to God, then in God's eyes, all service to Him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. God, service to God means just like you put food stuff in the stomach. Then the service supplying energy is distributed automatically. The eyes get service, the ear gets service, the hands get service, leg gets service, everything. But if you put food stuff in the eyes, instead of giving service, you make it blind. If you put food stuff in the ear, instead of hearing, it is blocked. So that is ignorance. You do not know what to give service. The knowledge, God consciousness, knowledge to know what to give service, so that the service will be automatically distributed. Pour water on the root of the tree, and the energy will be distributed to the trunks, to the branches, to the twigs, to the leaves, to the flower, everyone. But we are missing that point. This is scientific. Yatha tadanmula nisichanena tippanti satkanda bhuyopusaha pranopaharatsu jathindriyana tatha sarvanam achyuteja. So instead of giving service in so many ways, social, political, philosophical, cultural, this way, if you simply learn how to serve God, then everything will be done. So that is our philosophy, and we are endeavoring for this purpose, that you understand God and give service to Him, then the whole society will be perfect, peaceful.
No more questions.
No questions about the society.
You asked earlier about our program for educating society. Are you still interested in this?
This is education, I'll explain.
I think he was interested also in the techniques by which we go about educating society. We have some techniques.
Technical knowledge is not education.
No, but I mean, as far as our books, we have our technique for educating
Our program
society.
is to distribute the books of the Vedas with our spiritual masters' philosophical commentary. We already discussed a little bit before we came.
And on this subject matter, everything 62 books already.
Sure.
Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada.
Right.